Are you literally sweating in your living room right now because your Honeywell thermostat just gave up? Maybe the screen is totally dark, or worse, it's teasing you by saying, cool on, but you're definitely not feeling any cold air. Look, if you're a stressed San Diego homeowner slowly melting into your couch, do not panic. And please, definitely don't pay for a costly service call just yet. Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're bringing you a super clear, practical, no-fluff guide to fixing these common Honeywell issues based on insights from Climate Pros SD. We're going to systematically diagnose the problem, save you time, and hopefully save you some hard-earned cash.
Okay, let's just dive right into our triage roadmap. First, we'll tackle the blank screen fix. Second, we're demystifying that flashing cool on message. Third, we'll cover the right way to reset your system. Fourth, deciphering those weird icons and alerts. And finally, number 5, knowing exactly when to throw in the towel and call a pro.
All right, Section 1, the blank screen fix.
So, why is my Honeywell screen totally blank? It's honestly the most common question we see, and it's probably what brought you to this explainer today. Why did the screen just vanish? Well, to find out, we really need to treat this like a bit of an investigation, starting with the absolute easiest, cheapest culprit.
Here's your rapid-fire triage list in exact order of probability. Number 1, and I cannot stress this enough, dead AA batteries. Check these before you do anything else. Swapping them out fixes the issue without a service call, like most of the time. Now, if fresh batteries don't work, move to number 2. Check for a tripped breaker or a switched-off furnace toggle. You see, the thermostat gets its low-voltage power from a transformer inside that equipment, so if the furnace has no power, your screen is going to go dark. Number 3 is a blown low-voltage fuse on the furnace control board. This actually happens a lot if a wire shorts out from a DIY reinstall, or, believe it or not, rodents chewing on wires up in the attic. Number 4, look for a loose wire at the back plate. If it's backed out even just a few millimeters, it completely loses connection. And finally, number 5, if you happen to have a connected Wi-Fi model, a missing C-wire can cause the screen to go blank or reboot randomly, especially on really hot days when your system is working its hardest.
You know what's really interesting about this hardware? A lot of San Diego contractors install the non-connected Honeywell Pro series because they are fantastic, no-frills, reliable options. But here's the catch. When their batteries die, the screen doesn't slowly dim to give you a warning. Nope, it just goes completely, instantly dark. So honestly, just pop that faceplate off, swap the 2 AAs, and you will likely clear the call right then and there.
Moving on to Section 2, demystifying that flashing cool on message.
Okay, take a deep breath. A flashing cool on your screen is usually not a broken AC unit at all. It's actually a built-in safety feature. Your system is intentionally pausing to protect the outdoor compressor from restarting against high pressure. This usually happens if your power just flickered or if the system literally just finished a cooling cycle. Patience is absolutely your best friend here. Just consider this timeline. At minute 0, the system shuts down or the power flickers. For the next 5 minutes, you enter what's called the compressor lockout delay, and your thermostat screen flashes. But usually, right between minute 5 and minute 10, that flashing text is going to turn solid, and you'll finally feel cold air flowing again. Your system was literally just catching its breath. However, if you hit that 10-minute mark and cool on is still flashing with 0 cold air, well, it's time to face the facts. You likely have a hardware issue. The culprits here are usually a tripped breaker out of the condenser, a failed capacitor or contactor, or maybe a wiring fault on the Y wire, which is your cooling call signal. At this point, your DIY troubleshooting stops right here. Testing these components is simply not safe for the average homeowner.
All right, Section 3, the right way to reset.
The crucial point here is that you have to follow these steps in exact order. First up, the soft reset. This applies to every single model. Just pull the faceplate right off the wall, pull the batteries out if you have them, wait about 30 to 60 seconds, and pop it back on. This actually clears most display glitches. Now, if you have a connected model and that soft reset fails, try step 2, a factory reset through the settings menu. But be warned, doing this will completely wipe your Wi-Fi pairing and all your customized schedules. Still dead? Then it's time for step 3, the breaker cycle. This breaker cycle is incredibly effective. By going to your electrical panel and cutting power to the furnace or air handler for 60 seconds and then flipping it back on, you are essentially rebooting the control board that the thermostat talks to. It solves a surprising number of dead thermostat issues that actually originate downstream in the equipment's brain, not the thermostat on your wall. Let's jump to Section 4, deciphering icons and alerts. So Honeywell actually splits their alerts by product line. The battery-powered Pro Series models are built to be beautifully dumb and reliable on purpose. They'll basically just show you a little battery symbol when it's time for new A's. Contrast that with the connected T-Series and Lyric models. Those act much more like smart devices, throwing up blinking Wi-Fi symbols or low battery backup warnings.
If you do have one of those smart models and you see a blinking Wi-Fi icon, seriously, don't panic. It just means the thermostat lost its connection to your home router. It absolutely does not mean your HVAC system failed. The thermostat itself is still running your schedule and calling for heating and cooling locally. So check your home's internet before you start blaming the AC.
Now, what if you get an unrecognized fault icon on a connected model? Don't even try to guess what it means. Honeywell pushes all the complex alerts directly to the Honeywell Home app. So just open your phone, navigate to the device screen, and you'll get a super fast, plain English translation of exactly what's going wrong. Finally, Section 5, When to Call a Pro. This brilliantly illustrates exactly where you need to draw the line. Blank screen despite fresh batteries? Not DIY-able. Cool on flashing for more than 10 minutes? Not DIY-able. Blinking Wi-Fi? Yes, that one is DIY-able. Go check your router. Still dead after a full reset and breaker cycle? Not DIY-able. And if the screen looks totally normal but the house just won't cool down, that's likely a refrigerant or duct issue. And again, definitely not DIY-able. If your issue falls into one of those not DIY-able categories, your thermostat has communicated everything it possibly can. Moving past this point requires opening up heavy equipment and testing live voltage with a multimeter. This is genuinely dangerous work, and honestly, a misdiagnosis here usually costs significantly more than a standard service call would have in the very first place. So, what's the golden rule you should take away from this explainer today? Batteries first, breakers second, reset third. Try to commit that to memory. Executing this exact sequence clears the vast majority of Honeywell thermostat problems in San Diego without you ever having to touch the heavy heating or cooling equipment. But let me leave you with this final thought. If you've run through the entire checklist, you swap the batteries, flip the breaker, waited the 10 minutes, but you're still sitting in a sweltering house, it is time to safely admit defeat. You can reach out to Climate Pros SD at 442-777-6440 to get a vetted technician on the line. But before you touch your thermostat again, ask yourself this. Are you truly decoding what your home is trying to tell you? Or are you just guessing? Knowing exactly when to call for help is the real mark of a smart homeowner. Stay cool out there.